There are seasons in life where everything looks fine on the outside, but inside, you just feel tired and empty. You work hard, you chase goals, money, success, respect, and somehow, the more you achieve, the less fulfilled you feel. That's what makes Daniel's story hit so hard. It reminds us that maybe the real meaning of life isn't waiting at the finish line. Maybe it's hidden in the small impact we leave on people while we're still finding our way. Daniel was respected by everyone around him, but deep down, he felt lost. Looking for answers, he visited an old man named Eli. Eli gave him a strange task: carry water every day using a cracked bucket. Most of the water leaked out along the way, but after a week, Daniel realized that same water had brought life and flowers to the dry road. That's when he understood that life is less about the destination and more about the good we leave behind. What really makes this story powerful is how real Daniel feels. From the outside, he's doing everything right. He's strong, hardworking, respected, and never afraid of challenges. Most people would probably look at his life and think he has it all figured out, but inside, he feels empty. And honestly, a lot of people know that feeling. Sometimes the hardest part isn't failing. It's succeeding and still feeling like something's missing. You keep moving from one goal to another, thinking the next achievement will finally make you feel complete, but it never fully does. That emptiness slowly creeps in when your whole life becomes about chasing outcomes instead of actually living. The story quietly reminds us that external success and inner peace are not the same thing. You can have progress, money, recognition, even admiration from other people, and still feel disconnected from yourself. That's why Daniel's journey feels so personal. It's not really about success. It's about trying to understand what actually gives life meaning. Eli gave Daniel a task that honestly sounded pointless at first. He told him to carry water from the river to the well every single day, using an old bucket with cracks in it. The strange part was, Eli already knew the bucket couldn't hold water properly. Day after day, Daniel kept trying anyway. He walked under the hot sun, filled the bucket, and carried it back. But most of the water leaked out before he even reached the well. No matter how hard he worked, it never felt like enough. Eventually, he started believing he had failed, and that's the part that feels so real. A lot of people live exactly like that. We focus so much on what didn't work out, what we haven't achieved yet, or how far we still have to go, that we completely miss the good we're already bringing into the world. The cracked bucket in the story is really a symbol for all the imperfect parts of being human. Our flaws, our mistakes, old wounds, the insecurities we hide from other people, the parts of ourselves we wish were different. But the story doesn't treat those cracks like something shameful. It shows that sometimes the most beautiful things in life come from the broken parts we try so hard to hide. The most powerful moment in the story happens when Eli tells Daniel to turn around and look at the path behind him. Daniel expects to see failure. Instead, he sees flowers, green grass, and life everywhere along the road he walked every day. That's when everything finally clicks. The water leaking from the cracked bucket had been watering the path the entire time. Even though Daniel never managed to fill the well, he had still created something beautiful without realizing it. And honestly, that's probably how life works for a lot of us. People spend years thinking, I'll be happy when I finally succeed. Or, once I make enough money, everything will feel better. Or, when my life is perfect, then I can relax and enjoy it. But real life rarely works like that. This story reminds us that happiness isn't just about reaching some final destination. A lot of the meaning comes from the small things we do while we're still struggling, still growing, still figuring life out. Sometimes a kind word helps someone more than we know. Sometimes our effort inspires people quietly. Sometimes just surviving hard seasons changes us in ways we don't notice until later. That's the beauty of the story. Daniel thought he was accomplishing nothing, but the whole time he was bringing life to everything around him. What I really liked about the ending is that Daniel didn't suddenly return home with every answer figured out. His life wasn't magically perfect. He just came back feeling lighter inside, more at peace. And honestly, that feels way more real. The story never says you have to become perfect to have a meaningful life. It doesn't say you need to fully find yourself overnight either. Sometimes life is simply about continuing to move forward. Keep trying. Keep showing up. Keep being kind even when you're tired. That alone already matters more than most people realize. A lot of the meaning in life comes from small things people usually overlook. A conversation, encouraging someone, helping when nobody asked you to, being there for somebody during a hard season. Those little moments may not look important at the time, but they stay with people. Just like the water from Daniel's cracked bucket quietly brought life to the road without him even noticing it. One thing this story does really well is that the lesson feels practical. It's not just motivational talk. It's something people can actually carry into real life. First, stop measuring your whole life only by results. Not every effort pays off immediately. Sometimes growth is happening in ways you can't even see yet. Second, stop hating yourself for being imperfect. Everybody has cracks. Everybody has insecurities, regrets, mistakes, and parts of themselves they struggle. That doesn't make you worthless. It makes you human. Third, take a second to notice the good you've already done. A lot of people think they haven't accomplished much, but they don't realize their strength, kindness, or persistence may have helped someone else keep going. Another big lesson is learning to appreciate the process instead of obsessing over the finish line. If happiness only exists at the destination, you'll spend most of your life feeling empty. Real peace usually comes from learning how to value small moments while you're still on the journey. And finally, never underestimate small acts of kindness. Sometimes one simple action can change somebody's entire day, or even their life. Sometimes the most painful feeling isn't failure. It's feeling like your life doesn't matter, or that you're not making a difference. But Daniel's story reminds us that even during the seasons where we feel broken, tired, or lost, we may still be bringing something beautiful into the lives around us. Thank you so much for watching. If this story meant something to you, make sure to subscribe to Quiet Growth Lab for more meaningful stories that inspire, heal, and remind people they're not alone.